everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bettina and I am the Makeup Enthusiast. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all of my recommendations for you for the Sephora Australia VIB sale that is starting today. So we're going to run through it. I am also going to share with you any products that I do own. I'm going to give you like live photos and little swatches of as much as I can for you, and I will also at the end be mentioning my wish list of products that I want to try and get my hands on from the Sephora VIB sale for Australia. Before we get into all that, if you're new around here, welcome to my channel. My name's Bettina and I am the Makeup Enthusiast, and this is your go-to channel for all things Australian beauty. On this channel we do things like reviews on Australian made and Australian owned beauty products, and do project pans, as well as my monthly live stream where I discuss new releases to the Australian beauty market and I let you know whether I will be purchasing them or not. So if any of that interests you, make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss out on any of my content. So before we jump on into the video, I have a couple of tips for you guys to keep in mind when you are shopping the Sephora sale. My first tip is, if you are a frequent flyer member, make sure you jump on the Sephora website via the shopping mall in the frequent flyer membership page, and this will allow you to get 3 points for every dollar that you spend in the Sephora VIB sale. So it doesn't seem like much, but if you slowly rack up your points, you can eventually get something awesome. And if you're going to spend the money anyway, you may as well go to the little bit of extra effort and get some points while you're at it. My other tip is, just because there is a sale at Sephora for 20% off doesn't necessarily mean that Sephora will be the cheapest. So if you jump on the Sephora website before the sale starts and wish list everything that you are hoping to get your hands on, make sure you go to other websites and check out if it's even cheaper off their website. Just keep that in mind. Sometimes Sephora in Australia can be quite expensive and they do rack up their prices quite a lot. For this sale round, Gold and Black members will be getting 20% off and white members are getting 10%. Now for Gold members, they get online access from 12 AM on the 8th of May, and Black and white members get membership from midnight on the 9th of May through to the 12th of May at 11:59. That's all the details about the sale. Let's jump on into the skincare recommendations. Now, I will promise my recommendations are products that I have tried. I am not going to be recommending any products to you that I haven't tried. So these are purely recommendations based off products that I have tried. So for all my products that I will be recommending today, I will leave pictures of them on the screen as well as price breakdowns for you on the screen as well. So the first product that I'm recommending for you today is the First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads. Now these things are amazing. They do wonders for your skin and they are able to be used daily. They help give you glowing, beautiful textured skin. Along the lines of that, I have two more products that can help you give that beautiful glow. We have the Pixi Glow Tonic, which is a bit cheaper than the First Aid Beauty. This is a glycolic toner. This one you can get in a couple of different sizes, and I just think it's a great base product. It's a great way to kind of dip your toe in that glycolic acid realm. If you're a little bit scared to go full hog, you can get one of these smaller sizes. They are a cheaper price and it's a great way to test out the product, as well as it's not as harsh as the more intense products like the Facial Radiance Pads. And the next product, which I'm about to mention, which is the Alpha H Liquid Gold. This stuff I love. This stuff does wonders for my skin. Once again, it is a glycolic acid. My skin just reacts really well to glycolic acids, and whenever my skin's looking drab or it's looking like it's getting that horrible texture again, I always pull out my liquid gold and it just brings my skin back to life. So that is definitely a winner for me. Moving on, I have the Uemura cleansing oils. The first one that I'm going to mention is the Ultimate Cleansing Oil. Now this one, the only reason why I probably wouldn't purchase this, and this goes back to my first tip of make sure you check out prices at other places. The Ultimate you can only get in the smaller size at Sephora Australia. I love this stuff and I would much prefer to buy the bigger bottle, so I'm not quite sure whether this would be something that I would pick up during the sale because I want that Ultimate and I want it in the bigger size. So I am going to have to jump on and see if it actually works out cheaper. Also with Uemura, they have the Blac Chroma Brightening and Polishing Gentle Cleanser. Now this one they do sell in the bigger bottle. There is always that option if you want the larger bottle, but they only sell it in this particular formula. So if you're wanting to try out Uemura, go for the smaller bottle, but you won't be disappointed. So just go straight to the bigger bottle, I promise. Then we have the Ole Henriksen skincare sets. I think this is a great way to dip your toe into Ole Henriksen. I have tried some of his brightening products before and they are great. They do also have a balancing set. So depending on what you're trying to do with your skin, they do have a set there for you. Then moving on to a super duper bougie product, and that is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. This product is 100% not necessary, but if you like those kind of uplifting, like airy fairy like spritzy sprays that you can use as like a midday refresher or a toner, then check out the Caudalie one. It smells amazing. My last skincare product, which is probably the number one thing that I would recommend for you out of all of these recommendations, and that is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is the most amazing lip mask that you will ever try, and it is I think it's a Korean brand. It's just amazing. It's so good. Since discovering the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, I will not be without it. It does wonders for my really dry lips, and I believe it's cheaper. It's cheaper than the Bite Beauty Agave lip mask, and it's so much better. That Bite Beauty lip mask, it doesn't work for me at all. Skip the Bite mask, buy the Laneige mask. Moving on to the next product. Now this is one that I actually own. This is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. This is a pore filling primer. This is like a silicone based primer. It's really great if you have really large pores that you need to fill in. When I want that really smooth skin look, I use this and it's great. It's one of those primers though that you only really need to use like in your T-zone and wherever you have large pores. You don't need to use it all over your skin. Another primer that I recommend is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. Now guys, I have oily skin, so anything that can fill in my pores and stop that oil from seeping through and mattifying my skin, I'm gonna grab it. These two are quite similar. It just depends on what you want to go with. The beauty of the Makeup Forever primer is that they do sell them in smaller sizes, so this is a smaller size and it is a bit cheaper, so you can buy the smaller size. Try it first before you buy the larger one. The next one is a product that I recommend but I myself don't use, and it is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. Now I like this product, I just can't stand the smell of it. This has a really fake lemon smell and I can't stand it, so that is why I don't like wearing it, but it does look really nice on the skin, and I know so many people rave about this product, so definitely check it out. This is a little sample size. I don't think you can buy the sample size on the website, but you can buy it in store, so check it out if you're in store. Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Now you guys know this is one of my all-time favorite palettes. I absolutely love this palette, so I think you should definitely check it out for the 20% off. You can't go wrong for 20% off. You almost get $20 off with this product at 20% off. The duochromes in that palette are beautiful. The one thing I will say though is I wouldn't recommend the Rose Gold Textured palette, which is the first edition of Huda's palettes. The next two products that I have to recommend are from the same brand, and it is Anastasia Beverly Hills. Here I have the Modern Renaissance and the Prism palette. Now girl, if you don't have the Modern Renaissance palette, what have you been doing with your life? You need this in your life. This palette is beautiful. This is by far one of Anastasia Beverly Hills' best palettes that she's ever released. You need this in your life. You need this in your life. It's so good. If you like any of those like warmer colors, or you want to dip your toe into the warmer eyeshadow, this is the way to go. Definitely check this one out. And then the Prism palette. Now the Prism palette came out in the Christmas collection. It's still available on the Sephora Australia website. I really like this palette. I know some people didn't, but I really like this palette. So if you want some nice shimmers, colors, and some nice mattes, these two palettes from Anastasia are kind of what has made me fall in love with the Anastasia palettes. The one thing though I will say is the packaging is terrible. I hate this like fake velvet kind of thing. It gets so dirty and the feel of it just, it makes my skin crawl. What's inside is what counts. Moving on to one of the most expensive recommendations in this video, and that is the Natasha Denona palettes. Now I have the Star palette. I was lucky enough to get this as a present from my husband for my birthday. I'm a lucky girl. The Natasha Denona palettes are beautiful. If you can afford the price, when they're 20% off is 100% the best time to buy these. I really want to get my hands on the Lila palette. That's like the purpley color palette. I just love purple colors, so that's the one that I would really like to add to my collection. This one here is the Star palette. So it is a bit more warm tone. They do also have on the Sephora website the Sunset palette. I think they've got the green brown palette. Moving on to the Balm. The Balm on the Sephora website has the Betty Lou, the Cindy Lou and the Mary Lou Manizers. They have the 3 different highlighters. I would recommend the Mary Lou for those of you that have paler skin tones like myself. It is a beautiful like bam, power in your face, can see you from space highlighter. They have different shade ranges that kind of deepen for different skin tones, so there's one there for everyone. These are the Marc Jacobs Air Blushes. Now one thing that really annoys me about these ones is I have the whole collection, and that is because when I purchased these, they were only $39. They are now $69 on the Sephora Australia website. So, I mean, they're amazing blushes, but I'm going to leave it up to you as to whether you pay $69 for a blush or not. 100% recommend these to you at $39, but $62. I don't know whether I can in good conscience recommend that to you. My favorites are Kink and Kisses and this one, which is Lines and Last Night. But for $62, that's expensive. Also with Marc Jacobs, I have my favorite bronzer, and this is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in Tantric. This is just a beautiful natural bronzer for me. It looks really nice on my skin. It just doesn't look orange on my skin. So I think it's a good one for paler skin tones like myself. Moving back to blushes, I have a couple of blush recommendations for you. The first is the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. I have 2 palettes from Tarte with their blushes in them. I just think Tarte makes really nice blushes. They look really great on the skin. They don't look chunky or patchy, and they just blend really well and look really natural. You can get blushes from them that are matte, and you can also get some that are shimmers, so there's a great variety. Also blushes, I recommend the Benefit blushes. Now the beauty of the Benefit blushes with Sephora Australia is all their blushes come in mini sizes. So if you don't want to go to the expense of purchasing a full size blush with Sephora Australia and Benefit, then you can purchase the mini size. And personally, I would recommend you buying the mini size because you're never going to go through the bigger one, but their blushes are really nice. You can also at the moment purchase a blush bar from them, which comes with 5 blushes and one of their bronzers for $99, which is also a great deal. Moving on to highlighters. Now we firstly have this palette here from Kat Von D, and this is the Kat Von D Alchemist Palette. If you are looking for a palette that has colored highlighters, this is your palette to go to. The formula on these colored highlighters is just superb. It just looks really nice and natural on your skin. Doesn't emphasize texture, and it just looks really nice. So I would recommend this. In this one, you've got a green, a blue, a pink, and a purple colored highlighter in here. I do also have the Aurora Glow Kit to recommend to you. This one comes with 6 colors. I do prefer the formula on the Kat Von D coloured highlighters compared to this one, but if you're wanting a palette with more colours than this one, you've got 6 colours, but you do pay more for this. You pay an extra $22 to get the extra 2 colors, so I'm not quite sure whether that really justifies. If you're looking for somewhere to go for natural glows, I have two kits here from Anastasia for you. This is the Sugar Glow kit and the Sun Dipped Glow kit. The Sugar Glow kit came out for Christmas. This has my all-time favorite highlighter in it. This was featured in my 2017 makeup favorites. This one here, Starburst, is just beautiful. It just sits on the skin really beautifully, just looks really nice on people with paler skin tones like myself. And then if you have a deeper skin tone, I would recommend the Sun Dipped palette. I just have this because it's just stunning. Some of these colors like bronzed and tourmaline don't really suit my skin tone all that much, but it is still a beautiful palette nonetheless. If you have a darker skin tone, I would recommend this over the Sugar Glow kit. For mascara, I recommend the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. This is my tube that I'm throwing out because it's gotten so clumpy. This just makes your lashes look amazing. It makes them look really long and natural, and this is like my favorite mascara of all time. I just think it is amazing. The Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipsticks. I personally don't really like these 100%, but they do have a fantastic range of colors. If you don't have overly dry lips like I do, then these would be perfect for you. I just find that these can make my lips quite dry. They are a very matte formula and they stay all day. But if you have slightly dry lips, then I would steer clear of these. But if I am having a good lip day, I always reach for these because they have a fantastic shade range. Moving on to tools. Now I have a few recommendations for tools. I don't really have any brushes to recommend for bases, and that is because I use my beauty blender for everything to do with like applying my cream base. So I don't use any brushes to apply my foundations. I use my beauty blender, so getting 20% off is the perfect time to pick up some more beauty blenders. Then for brushes, we have two choices from Sephora that I am recommending. I would recommend you pick up some Sigma brushes and also some Zoeva brushes. Now I will share some of my favorite brushes from both the brands. I will also say that Sephora do have some great brushes if you are on a bit of a budget, but some of the Zoeva brushes are pretty comparable in price. Mostly have here some eye brushes. As I said, I use my beauty blender for quite a lot of stuff, so I only really use brushes for eyes. Starting with Sigma, I have this large shader brush here. This is great for, I mainly use this for cream product or packing eyeshadow on the lid, so that's a great one there. I have had most of my Sigma brushes for maybe 5 or 6 years and they are still going strong. As long as you clean them properly and look after them, then they will keep going and going and going for you. I also have the small angled brush. This is great for eyeliner. You can also use it if you dip this in a little bit of micellar water. You can use it to tidy up your winged eyeliner if you do that first. That's usually what I use these for. My tapered face brush, I use this for powder. It just has a nice taper that you can get in and around all your, under your eye and around your nose and everything. So it's a great powder brush with that point. The pencil brush, I love using pencil brushes to pop a good pop of shimmer or highlight on my inner corner to bring that out and draw attention to it. So their pencil brushes are great for that. I then have here the F70 concealer brush. I've actually been using this every day at the moment to pack color on my lid with just a shimmering color. Eye shading brush, once again, is also nice for packing color on the lid. My two favorite blending brushes from Sigma are the diffused crease brush. This is just great for diffusing your crease like the title says, and just getting in above that crease color and just diffusing it out and blending it out. Also the tapered blending E50. This is just a great all over blender brush, so you can just get in between your crease and your eyebrow and just blend it out and go crazy. It's a great one for diffusing any colors, particularly if you go a bit overboard. It's a great one for just getting in there and blending it out, and it just diffuses it out and doesn't make it look messy. And then I have the Sigma tapered highlight. I use this almost every day for my highlight. It's just a great shape with the taper. You get some color on this tip area here and just run it on your cheekbone, and it's just It's just perfect. From Zoeva, I only have 2 brushes from Zoeva, but I absolutely love these 2 brushes. I use these all the time. I have the 228 crease brush and I have the 227 Luxe Soft Definer. This Luxe Soft Definer, because it's pinched and tapered either way, it's great for getting colour into your crease. And this one also, because it's got that slight point to it, it's great for focusing colour when you're wanting to blend it out in the outer corner or into the crease. So those 2 are great brushes. So that's all my recommendations for the Sephora VIB sale. Now moving on to my wish list, which is expensive. So obviously I'm not going to be able to purchase everything off this list. First on my wish list is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam Palette. I know I don't need this palette, but I want it. I love the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow formula. I have seen some reviews of this palette and it just looks really pretty. It looks like a great everyday go-to eyeshadow palette, so that's why I want my hands on that one. Also the Anastasia Beverly Hills blush trios. These blushes just look really nice and natural on the skin, so that's why they're on there. I also want to give the illuminating brush by Anastasia Beverly Hills a try. It just seems to apply highlighter like a dream. Then I have the Fenty foundation. I still have not jumped on the Fenty train. I just haven't had a chance to get my hands on it, so I really want to try the foundation. I've heard amazing things about the foundation. The Fenty Balm Baby mini set. Now this comes with one of her mini lip glosses as well as one of the mini highlighters, and I just really want to try both of them. So I think the mini set's a great way to go because I have so many highlighters that I don't need another full size. A really random product, the Beauty Chef is stocked by Sephora, so I want to try the Glow Inner Beauty powder. I'd really like to give that a try. And lastly, I have a few products from the brand Herbivore Botanicals. So I want to try the brightening mask, pink clay exfoliating mask, the blue clay spot treatment mask, as well as the blue tansy resurfacing clarity mask. So I would like to try pretty much all of their products. I've heard such great things about Herbivore Botanicals, so I really want to give them a try. So that's it for this video, everyone. It's a long one. Let me know what you are planning on picking up in the VIB sale, or if you're watching this after you've made your purchase, let me know what you managed to get your hands on. I hope this video was helpful for you. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Click the subscribe button down below and the notification bell if you want to see any more videos from me. This is your go-to channel for all things Australian beauty. Thanks for stopping by and clicking on this video and hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye everyone.